I'm Aaron from Phonedog.com, and the next big thing is already here. Again, the Galaxy Note 2 announced at IFA in the Phonedog offices. Let's take a look in the full unboxing. Look on the bright side, it took a couple of months, but it's finally here. At least the international version is finally here. Here's the Samsung Galaxy Note 2, announced a few months ago at IFA in Berlin, and it's out at least internationally, coming very soon to the US on 5 carriers: Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, and US Cellular. Somebody told me the other day on Twitter that it seemed like I was directing, if they put the video on mute, it seemed like I was directing a phone orchestra. I like that. I'll just do this the entire video. But this is the Galaxy Note 2. To give you a recap of the specs, it's a huge evolution, huge bump from the Galaxy Note 1. It's packing a 1.6 gigahertz quad-core Exynos processor, a 5.5-inch Super AMOLED HD display, an 8-megapixel camera with 1080p HD video recording, 3,100 milliamp hour battery. It's packing Android 4.1, known as Jelly Bean, out of the box with TouchWiz. It's got a new S Pen, and it comes in gray and in white. Special thanks to Best Buy Mobile for giving us devices kind of like this. They didn't give us this device, but devices like this for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game. When you go into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working. They'll help you set up your email, your web, your contacts, so when you walk out the door, you're good to go. And I got to give some love to our sponsors in our Greatest Tech giveaway ever, too, Negri Electronics, because they hooked us up with overnight shipping on this device, and they do sponsor our Greatest Tech giveaway ever, too. Be sure to check them out, negrielectronics.com. They do a great job with these unlocked devices, so huge kudos to them. They're really great to work with, and I'm very thankful to have them that we can work with. So the Galaxy Note 2, this is the gray version. You can see it right here, looking good. And what I'm really excited about with this device is it's coming to the States with the same Exynos processor. So it's not switching over to the Snapdragon S4 CPU. Not saying that the S4 is bad by any means, but it's keeping the Exynos processor all the way over to the States with 4G LTE connectivity as well. You can see the stickers are kind of falling off of this device. Now it's different because, like I said in the IFA videos, this thing has a bigger display. It's got a 5.5-inch display, but it's narrower and taller than the original Galaxy Note. Let me give you one by comparison here. Take a look at the original and then take a look at the follow-up. You can see it's a little bit narrower and it's definitely taller, but it fits in the hand a little bit easier. You know, I can wrap my hands around it ever so slightly easier than the original Samsung Galaxy Note. So you can see, looks better, kind of has that design evolution as the Galaxy S3. Looks very similar to the Galaxy S3, and you can see that they're kind of moving all of their devices in that direction. 3,100 milliamp hour battery here. Let's take a look at what comes in the box. Quick start guide. You've got something in Korea or in Hong Kong, or in, is that Korean or is that Japanese or Chinese? I'm not quite sure. And then you get some stuff like Galaxy Tab 2, other goodies, promotional goodies, but you get a quick start guide. And you can see, obviously, because this is an international device, it comes with an international adapter. As you can see here, comes with the UK. It looks like the UK adapter. Is that the UK adapter? Yeah, I believe it is. And you get that, and you get a USB cable out of the gate. You get earbuds, and then you get earbud tips as well. So you get a headset out of the box, as well as a giant 3,100 milliamp hour battery. So again, you know, interested on a couple of fronts here. One, better processor, and say what you will about the bigger display. Some people are going to hate the size of this device, but what I'm really excited about is, you know, 4G LTE coming to the States. This one obviously doesn't have it, but LTE coming to the States, quad-core processor, and a bigger battery. So my question is, will this thing finally be the device to make it through the day? Because even on the Galaxy S3, I struggle at times to make it through the day with moderate use. So I'm hoping with the bigger battery, even with LTE, I can carry this device and make it through the day with moderate use. So giant battery here going into the phone now. Let's power this sucker up. You're like, shut up and get to the review or the unboxing. And initial hands-on. So you can see the S Pen here as well. On this side, power button, 3.5mm headphone jack up top, your new revised S Pen, very similar to the S Pen on the Galaxy Note 10.1. Button down here, again, physical button, very similar to Galaxy S3. You've got two capacitive buttons over here on the side, front-facing camera, and then you've got your volume rocker over here on this side. So Galaxy Note 2 powering up. And I don't want to hide the, I want to make sure you get a chance to see the boot up animation. Galaxy Note 2 starting up right now. Here it comes, Android 4.1, 1.6 gigahertz quad-core processor. It's really going to bug me that this battery door didn't go all the way down. So I'm trying to like hold it where you can see it. Ooh, that's not English. Let's take a look here and see what we can do. Maybe it's here. New. Maybe it's here. Aha. There we go. Perfect. English. English, United States. Ah, bingo. There we go. Samsung Galaxy. Welcome. Wi-Fi turning on. Let's turn off Wi-Fi. We're going to skip that for now. We'll skip this for now as well. We'll skip. We're going to do a lot of skipping. Oh, and sounds like one of my phones is getting an emergency alert. Take shelter. Uh-oh, extreme alert. Perhaps, a tornado warning. Oh, that's not good. You know what? We got a Galaxy Note 2 video to shoot. I don't have time for tornado warnings. Let's keep doing this. Use Google location. That is not... Let's change that from Hong Kong. There we go. And you can see the keyboard slightly different here as well. Go ahead and add Aaron Baker in here. Even though this is not my device, this is Phonedog's device. No thanks. And let's do this. Let's just finish it out and take a look at the device itself. So obviously Android 4.1 here, TouchWiz. So the overall implementation of TouchWiz is very similar to what you would see on the Galaxy S3, even though this is running Jelly Bean, obviously. Along with the typical Samsung format here where you can swipe through and get your Wi-Fi, your GPS, your sound, and you'll notice, much like the Note 10.1, when I bring the pen close to the display, you'll see the circle pop up. So the S Pen, in a lot of ways, has gotten much smarter, and you have some recommended shortcuts here as well for the S Pen. And this is pretty cool as well. Once I put the pen back, it detects that I put the pen back, and those shortcuts go away. So again, software update looks like it's available as well. But in settings, a ton of new stuff here as well as a result of both Jelly Bean and the fact that this is obviously a Note device, not the Galaxy S3. You've got home screen mode here. So this carries over from some of the more basic Samsung devices where you can go from basic mode to easy mode, and you can get some nice widgets on the home screen like the dialer and more, where if you're new to smartphones, it can be an easy transition. Blocking mode, which you can turn on much like Do Not Disturb on the iPhone, where you can disable incoming calls, notifications, alarm and timer, LED indicator, and you can set it for a certain time to a certain time in the morning, and then you can allow people to come through. So family, girlfriend, boyfriend, etc. You can allow those to come through and keep all the work calls or all the work emails or whatever the case may be out of your phone, or at least it won't notify you until the next morning, which is nice in a lot of ways. So a lot of new features here there on the display as well. You can see Page Buddies, new context-related pages will be created on the home screen, which we'll cover more in the full review. Screen mode here, I can see, which is a typical Samsung thing. Battery percentages you can see up here. All the font stuff the same. Smart rotation, you can disable orientation. Smart stay, which came out with the Galaxy S3, whereas you're looking at the display, it'll keep the display on. Font style, font size, battery percentage, screen tone, and of course a lot of the things you may love about the Galaxy S3. Some of the power saving features, your battery stuff, your lock screen here as well, where you can customize your lock screen. You can pop up a note, you can do information tickers. So I've talked a lot about this on the Galaxy S3 series, but this stuff is coming over to the Note 2 as well. Weather, information tickers, shortcuts, and more. And like I've said in previous Android videos, Android is really saturating the market right now, and I think in a lot of ways it's all about software. So how does this thing distinguish itself in a sea of devices? Granted, it's one of the few phablet devices, but in a sea of Android devices, they've done a really good job of making TouchWiz distinguishable by some really cool software features. One-handed operation stuff as well, Samsung keyboard calculator, unlock pattern, and again, you can see the icon up here that shows that my S Pen has been removed, and of course, it'll show me that it's on the screen, as you can see by the circle right there. And then of course system stuff down here, motion, S Pen, and more. You can change around the settings there. Let's take a look at messaging. Actually, yeah, we can't take a look at internet unfortunately because it looks like the SIM card I put in is not working. But I've got the S Pen feature here where I can hover it over and I can do something like the S Pen 1. I can do a new memo, and I've got a wealth of new S Pen options. One of my personal favorites that I saw in Berlin is this one, where I can click here and I can come out and say, weather, for example, or I can email Jeff and send an email to Jeff. I can do maps for Cambridge. I can call Charlie just by using these icons and by dialing, or by typing rather, James or Cambridge or Katie, etc. And I can do that from here, and it'll automatically launch whatever I need. So for weather, for example, and obviously this is not going to work for data purposes, but I can just say weather. So they've really taken, it's kind of like S Pen 2.0. And do weather, jumping to internet search, and obviously, like I said, network connection is not working. But you can really see Project Butter as well, and I'm interested to get more hands-on with this and see, hey, Project Butter and Android 4.1, how much of a difference does it make when the software is already pretty well optimized for Android? So TouchWiz, new version works really well. Android 4.1, obviously on this device, and you get Project Butter combined with a quad-core Exynos processor. This is going to be a pretty bad device all around that I'm excited to work with. And of course, portrait to landscape transitions, nice and fast. And like I showed you earlier, you get the Samsung keypad out of the gate, or Samsung Chinese IME, I should say, Google Voice typing as well. But again, portrait to landscape, incredibly fast, and you can really see some transition differences when I hit settings, for example, how settings comes up in that typical Android 4.1 format. Keep it locked on Phonedog.com for continuing coverage of one of the hottest devices of the year, the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Phonedog. If you want to buy one of these, hit up Negri Electronics at negrielectronics.com, and on Twitter at negrielectronic. Let me know what you think of it as well on my Twitter feed. Phonedog_Aaron on Twitter, Facebook.com/PhonedogAB on Facebook. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this device. Are you waiting for it? Are you waiting for it to hit the US carriers? Because, hey, this time around the specs are going to be kind of similar, but you get 4G LTE connectivity, or HSPA Plus if you're on T-Mobile, obviously, on the carrier-branded versions in the States when those launch later in the year. If that's something you're waiting for, let me know. If you're going to go with the unlocked one, let me know. If you're going to stick with the iPhone 5 or the Galaxy S3, I'd still love to hear from you. Phonedog_Aaron on Twitter. Thanks much for watching. Stay tuned for more on the Galaxy Note 2. I almost said Galaxy Note 3. We're not there yet. Galaxy Note 2 on Phonedog.com. We'll see you next time.